Please be aware that the podcast you are about to listen to is intended for mature audiences. It takes on topics such as mental illness, violence, abandonment, trauma, and in general, the end of the world as we know it. Please take care of yourself as you continue to enjoy our episodes. Take breaks as you need to. Welcome back to Woke Mental Wellness presents Windy City Demons. We pick back up on day 3, time slot 3, with our humans in a bookshop with new hope and information, and our demon friend having gone off into the day to see what she can find. So, there is where we will begin today. Saphira, what are you doing?
Searching the city. I'm trying to find more demons to help us on our mission. It just feels like we're going to have a really tough time with these seals. With finding these seals.
Okay. Are you looking for anyone in particular?
No one in particular comes to mind. I mean, I think it might be a good idea to check in with the harasser. I'm sure maybe he'll have some ideas of who we can find to help us along our way.
Okay. So you are trying to find him again. And, well, where would you start looking, or how would you go about trying to get in contact with him?
I'm starting in the seediest places, because I know that's where he likes to hang.
Okay.
So the dive bars, Lakeview.
All right. You go around, and the first few places you don't see him. Folks haven't seen him around. They say that essentially what you get is, with everything going on, fear's a big business right now, and he's been pretty busy. Hasn't been around as much. If you really need him, you might try going around, instead of the normal haunts, going to some actual haunts, some haunted houses and stuff that have started popping up around the city given the time of year.
Okay. All right, I'm going to take their advice. I guess I'll look at the nearest haunted house.
Okay. You make your way to the nearest one. Actually, just give me just roll me 3d10 and tell me what all 3 of them is. This is just kind of a luck check. Just
Okay. 8, 8, and 4.
Okay, yeah. You think about what you know about him and where he tends to be, and whether he'd go all the way out to one of those big fancy ones in the suburbs, or whether he's the kind of demon that, sticks it close, lays the normal places so that he's consistent, and you decide to choose consistency. And you go, and it's early. There's not a lot of humans around by any means, but as you go into the haunted house, you absolutely find him in one of the rooms, chilling out in front of a TV that is blurrily playing some random old horror movie on repeat. mostly just a compilation of various screams and scares. And he's on a couch that's covered in fake blood. And he, you assume, looks up at you. Once again, the facial aspect of things is sometimes a little odd with the mouth and the eyes in the mouth. But you definitely see that gaping maw and the two yellow eyes in the back turned towards you.
We're a little on the nose there with what you're watching. Uh, I'm just I've been looking for you for a while. Glad to see you're at your usual spot.
Well, on the nose or not, I wouldn't think you would judge.
I mean I'm judging, but we can hold off for a little bit later.
Always with the judgment, as if you don't occasionally frequent anger management meetings.
All right. We're not here to talk about me.
So, do you have something new for me? Or, as it were, something old,
Hmm.
perhaps?
Haven't been able to get the talisman yet. Um, or I haven't been able to break the talisman yet. I'm struggling to figure out how to do it without touching it. But we did find a seal.
Good for you. I'm glad my information was of assistance. Now, if only yours was equally helpful.
I mean, I can tell you where we just were and uh, give you, I guess, a little bit of an update.
I really don't care where you were. I would rather know where she is.
Uh, there's this occult shop. I can't remember where exactly, but yeah, her and I are there trying to get some information.
Hmm. Is it one of the shops we can actually enter?
Um, I'm not sure. I can check for you. Um, I mean, I'll do whatever you want me to at this point. I just need some help. We need help.
Well, then, I am the charitable sort, I suppose. I'll come with you.
Sounds good to me. For now.
Lead the way.
All right, let's go.
So he drifts after you. Um, and yeah, so you go to the bookshop?
Yeah, we head to the bookshop to see if we can enter.
Okay. So, indeed, you go, um, Aya and Imani. You are still at the Botanica. Um, and I would like, who has a cult?
Yeah, so I have a point in the cult.
Okay. So, go ahead and give me a, this is pretty easy. Give me a TN 6 occult check. So you're gonna roll, 3d10. 1 point doesn't give you any additional dice, but it does allow you to make the roll.
Okay, I got a 10, 7, and a 4.
Nice. So with 2 successes, um, as you're just giving this place a cursory glance around, you, Imani, do realize that not just this room, but the whole shop is at least lightly warded. You would notice this from your apartment, but your apartment has a kind of just all or nothing at the front door sort of a thing. And this is a lot more subtle, where you would notice that there's some dampening power and some resistance power to this. But by and large, most things could come in. But then most things couldn't do much once here. Whether you share that with Aya is up to you. But with your role, that so far, looking around, trying to find what you could find in this shop, that's some of the first things that you notice. Aya, what are you doing?
I was just about to start checking in with Imani because I don't know anything as far as this occult stuff is concerned. So I'm just gonna see what we have found as a couple of people. Um, any luck? Any what have you been able to find?
Well, I get the sense that this place is already warded from spirits and demons, which makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't want them showing up either, especially after dealing with what we're dealing with. So that's at least we have a semi safe-ish spot for now. But I think we should really try and get through some of these books. At the very least, read our journal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
Should look into it.
yeah, and at least we'll be able to be better equipped to help with our other stuff and other things, and maybe we'll catch some inspiration on where our next issue may be.
Well, let's start with the journal.
Okay,
See what we can find there.
all right. I guess we'll start at the start of it.
So I'll open the journal and start looking for information in there. Hopefully, we can find something.
Okay. So looking in the journal, let's see. You don't really have anything for this. So it's going to be a little bit harder. You don't really know quite how to look or what you're looking for in this journal. So we're going to say that it's a TN. We'll say instead of a 6, we'll say it's a 7.
Okay. I got a 7, a 9, and a 2.
Okay. So with one success, what are you looking? Are you looking for anything specific in the journal, or just starting to read it?
The specific thing that comes to mind is um, the person's experience with the seals and whether or not that might be able to give us some input on where to find mine.
Okay. You start to read this journal, and you notice that it starts out very mundane, very normal. Um, a woman who is at the height of her career talking about diets and exercise routines, work, court cases, dating. And then at one point, you notice it abruptly shifts. And there's talk about a nightmare and waking up with a clock burned into the back of her hand. And the entries get frantic as they go, And you do see that she questions whether or not this is real, not wanting to believe that it's happening. But you also notice that the mentions of work and dating and diets and all of the things that she was doing end, and everything very quickly becomes about what she's finding, what she's working on, what she's looking for, trying to figure out, is there a rhyme or reason to where these things are? Um, and by things, you know that she means seals. And there's, it looks like she very quickly shifts into note taking. Looks like she may have been reading a lot of various books, some of which are referenced, including page numbers. And you do see that throughout, there are some pauses, quick entries. Found one, lost lost one of the demons that was helping me. Hopefully they'll be back tomorrow, but we got it. We missed this one. We're gonna have to go back again. I don't know what we're gonna do. We don't have time for these failures. I don't want to die. And in your brief look through this, you do see a lot of jargon and symbols and things that you don't quite understand. And the things that you do understand weigh heavy on you. Reading someone else's journey, even briefly scanning it this way, going through something that you're going through and seeing the roller coaster and losses that were incurred during her process. What does that do for Aya?
Really freezes her in her tracks. Particularly the I don't want to die. We don't have time for these. We don't have time for these losses, these failures. And it scares her because there's already been so much time spent just trying to understand what we're dealing with. And it's truly immobilizing.
Imani, while Aya is going through this journal, what are you doing?
I am going through the other books that she has on her shelf and seeing if there's any information I can find in there.
Okay. Go ahead, and there are a lot of books here. Is there anything specific you're trying to find at this point in time?
Uh, Probably just stuff on, uh, I'll say, like, seals or the Archdemon.
Roll a for the seals. Well, yeah, for seals, roll a TN6. For the Archdemon, roll a TN9.
Okay.
We'll do a TN8, but if you beat a 9, you might be able to find stuff that helps you figure out which Archdemon you're facing.
Okay. I got a 10, a 4, and a 1.
Okay, that is definitely a roller coaster of scores. So,
Yeah.
you have one, you've got one success, so there's some complications here.
Okay.
Um, you find some information on the seals, but it's a lot of what you already know. They are the method by which an archdemon enters this world and takes what is theirs, is essentially what the text reads. You know that there are 6 of them, typically speaking, and they tend to be difficult to pin down because they can be people, they can be things, or they can be places. And generally speaking, once one gets close to them, they themselves are transported into an other world that some never return from. And space and time can be vastly different in said other world. So there's not really particular information about how to find them. It just says that there tends to be distortions or strange occurrences or meaningful changes near them that can be um, sensed. Additionally, there's some notes that some demons may be better than others at um, finding them or sensing them once in the correct area. Um, so that's what you find on the seals. On the archdemons, you find a list of names that contains a few names. There's about 4 names on this list. And there's not a lot else here. There's one name that simply says Lord of Shadows, and it notes that, as his name denotes, he tends to make things dark. The sun stops shining, um, days get stranger as dark shifts occur. There's another whose name next to it says King of Mist, and it simply notes that upon this being's coming, things tend to get hazier and foggier, but not much else is known. There's a name that says the Riddle of Time, and next to it, this one says not really anything. There's a couple of question marks and just the word animals. And the final name on the list says Broken Moon. And next to this, there's a few things, more than the others. The first note says vampires seem to be real. Under that, it says also makes things darker and less sun. And under that, it says seems hard to tell difference between some of these. And those are the notes that you find on the seals and archdemons. It's at this point where you hear the bell in the front of the shop Saphira, you and your friend have arrived, and as you walk in, um, not not completely, but you do get a slight tingle um in your back as your eyes sense that there's you can enter this space, but it's going to wreak a little havoc with some of your powers should you try to use them.
Oh, well, this is weird. Something feels a little off about this place. But it seems like we can get in.
It's not weird, it's wards. Not my favorite, but at least these won't blow us apart.
Mm. Good point. So, are you gonna help us, or?
If I weren't, I wouldn't be here. I personally, however, have a reunion.
And he actually starts to float in front of you, and towards the back of the shop, um, where there's a curtain, and he disappears behind the curtain. Imani, a shiver runs down your spine in a way that you haven't felt in, well, since your friend helped you.
This, I don't like this at all. I don't fucking like it at all. You busy?
Hey, what's going on?
I feel like we need to go. We need to take this stuff and leave.
Go where?
I don't know. I don't care. We have to leave
I
here.
thought
A
I thought this was the safest place we were supposed to be.
Not right now.
As you say, I thought this is the safest place we were supposed to be. You suddenly hear,
Yes, incredibly safe.
and Imani, you don't see this, but you have heard that voice before. That is a voice you have spent countless days, hours seeking to try to never hear ever again. Aya, you look up to see a massive, towering, chartreuse being with orange spots, 5 arms with jagged flesh colored claws, and a mouth that looks like it's a black hole with 2 yellow eyes in the back center, towering over Imani.
Imani?
That's why I wanted to leave. Why couldn't we just leave?
Imani, roll a
We can leave
fear.
now, can't we?
Imani, please roll me a TN8 fear test.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I got a 10, a 7, and a 4.
Okay. So, you succeed, but so you keep yourself under control, but in fact, that also happens to mean that you are staying in the room with this demon. So, what does that look like as you realize that Minyanya Sahi is standing directly behind you?
um, probably just irritation. And above all else, if Monty's not freaking out, then she's just angry.
Saphira, do you follow the demon that you know as the harasser? Imani, of course, knows the real name, which is a necessity for the kind of warding that she has. But do you follow him into this room?
Yeah, I follow the harasser. I want to see what he's here for and see a little bit of action.
So you walk in and you see the tension in this room, and you see him uh, standing towering over Imani, and you see Imani first. Fear crosses her face, and then she seems to get some hold of herself, and then you can feel the anger radiating off of her.
Ah, this is the kind of energy I like.
You brought him here, didn't you?
I mean, yeah, but just to help us. I didn't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, help,
Okay,
of
this
course.
thing does not look helpful.
No, of course
Looks
he
can be
isn't.
deceiving.
I am supremely helpful.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And Aya slowly moves her hand to her side again, like she might try to draw a knife.
Well, since we're all here and we're all going to apparently get along, uh, can we at least. What are you doing here? What do you want? I know it's something about me, because why else would you ever sign up for anything unless it had something to help you with? So, what the fuck do you want?
I simply want to assist my friends, and I have missed you. You cut so many ties, it has been next to impossible to find you in any meaningful way. So
Yeah, that's
hurtful.
good, because you hurt me plenty. So, keep talking.
What would you like to know?
Well, since you said that you're so helpful, how about you tell us how you plan to help us?
I have already helped you. I hope you enjoyed finding that seal.
That
That
was his
He's
was
got a
doing?
my
point.
information.
Saphira?
Yeah, I mean, he helped us find the seal. That's why I brought him here.
Christ. Alright. Well,
Could you at least let us know that you're gonna make deals with more demons before you do it?
I'll try to give you a heads up next time. Sure.
thanks.
Thanks.
Well, now that we're all in agreement, have you been to any crowded places, Imani?
Mm, not really, no. Well, you think that's gonna hinder me in any way, like I haven't gotten anywhere from anything, then, yeah, whatever. Since we're already entangled and all this is already happening, let's keep working on trying to figure shit out, because God knows I'm still trying to help Aya, and that's the last thing I want to do is be compromised and not be able to help her. Fuck everybody else.
That's the spirit. So, now that we're a happy family,
Ugh,
what is it that you need?
I don't know. You talk to him.
So I'm looking through this journal, but some of it doesn't make any sense. Maybe you could look at the things that I'm missing and fill in the blanks. You have to be useful if you're going to be here, because you're not just going to be here starting shit. Deal?
This has long since been started. I'm not starting anything.
I'm not starting anything. Do you understand what I mean?
I believe what you mean is a polite request for my assistance so that your short, pathetic, mortal life doesn't end.
Well, do I need to roll for my aggression trigger?
Yeah, would you like to try and keep that composure?
Yeah, let's try that. What's my TN?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, he's being asshole. Let's go TN7.
I got a 7, a 3, and a 1.
So demons in the room mark experience. So as you watch this thing trying to torment Imani and being generally very difficult and condescending, what does it look like as Aya starts to lose her temper?
So I think it's just a lashing out of just like, hey, I don't give a fuck what you think about my life or the life of any of the other human beings here. If I understand this correctly, we're all screwed if this goes wrong, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So maybe it'd be a better
Some
idea.
of us more than others.
Maybe it'd be a better idea if instead of using all that energy to run your mouth and be a tormentor, you could just help us.
Well, fine.
And as he says fine, you see him kind of, the form stops being so solid and it floats over Imani's shoulder and directly into the book that you had mentioned that you were reading. So he goes directly into the journal, and as you're holding it, the pages of the journal start flipping as though somebody is very swiftly fanning these pages or thumbing through them. And once it gets to the end, the book slams shut and then opens back up to, let's make a roll here. This is made with a bonus die. So let's see how he does. Okay. The journal reopens to a page towards the very end. And you see text start to highlight itself in this chartreuse color.
Whoa.
And the text that is now highlighted says, sometimes it seems like these seals have only vague connections to me, or at least to things that are meaningful to me. Sometimes it seems like it's just proximity. Other times it seems like they were put there after I looked, because I know I had to have looked at the firm before. I still can't believe this is all happening, but at least we're almost done. And then the book slams shut again. And once again, that form pulls out of the book and once again is standing behind Imani. But Imani, this time you feel a cold, sharp finger running up your arm.
Get away from me. Get.
I told you I could be helpful.
Oh,
Okay.
That felt like it was worth it.
For who?
exactly.
Us.
Anyway, fine. We figured something out.
So,
Thank you, I guess.
but this just means that it could be really anything. If it's not always directly related to some sort of issue or trauma that you had, it could be anything. It could be the fucking coffee cup. It could be what you ate yesterday. Like, it's just,
Well,
it's a help, but it's not a help.
is there anywhere you already were that maybe we need to go back to and look again?
The only place we were that we could even think to go back to would be my place
Or mine.
or yours. I was gonna say we could go back to the beach, but that doesn't make any sense if we've already found a seal there.
Not to mention, it's still probably crawling with cops and everything else. Did you find anything at the place you were at? Well, that we were just at? Sophia?
No, nothing. It was empty.
Oh, that's no good.
I mean, what about that, what do you humans call it? Job?
That's a good point.
I mean, it also has directly to do with the both of us. Maybe our proximity to one another could be a clue.
Maybe. Well, probably have to go back there anyway, so I guess we should go?
Assuming I still have a job at this point, yeah, we probably should.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Thank you for listening to Windy City Demons, a woke mental wellness actual play of 12 Inner Demons. If you want to connect with us, you can find our contact information in the episode notes. If you want to learn more or to support our podcast, you can join our Patreon. We can also be found on most major podcasting platforms, and videos are also uploaded to YouTube. Our Patreons get episodes one day early on Fridays. Otherwise, we tend to release on Saturdays. So don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave reviews and messages if you liked our content. Thank you for listening, and take care of yourselves until next time.